welcome to episode 30. 30, like that. Straight at you. Coming at you like Cleopatra of A Trouble Shared. A podcast where two comedians try and heal the world by solving one of your troubles one at a time. My name is Johnny Cochrane, but I'm not alone. We come gang-handed. I'm joined by someone who does not have trouble in paradise. In fact, it's her idea of paradise by having trouble. So it's Twayna Mayne.
I thought you were going to, Johnny, I thought you were going to sing a song like, I thought that was that a song lyric?
No, Trouble in Paradise is a well-versed one, isn't it? But
all right.
Just kind of playing on that, like, you wouldn't have trouble in paradise. Paradise is trouble for you. So
okay.
Yeah, could you like trouble?
It's an interesting one. It's not one of your best. It was a bit, ham-fisted, but it's all right. It's okay, Johnny. I'm not gonna like rip into you for that. We try our best.
We sweep it to the side straight away, and it's gone. I see you are sitting here in your red and white, gold-crested cannon on your scarf. What's going on, Twayna?
I just seem to be representing a little-known football club based in North London that I think maybe you have a similar badge on your...
There's a cannon on the chest.
Yeah.
For anyone who's listening to this, and we know that some of the listeners listen to another Arsenal podcast I do, you will also be gooners out there, which means like-minded, sensible people. It's a glorious week, isn't it, Twayna?
Yeah. It's a brilliant week.
We won the league. We won the league. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling ecstatic. I wore my scarf to work the other day, and look, I got a few congratulations from people as if I was very much involved in this title race, that I scored some important goals, and I took that as I just accepted the sort of thanks and went, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Also had a little wave in at lunchtime as well on Tuesday. We sat with a guy on a line bike who was cycling by, and he was he saw the scarf and he had a top on as well. And we wished each other well, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. It was brilliant. I'm great. How are you, Johnny, about all of this?
I'm absolutely over the moon. And see, when I think about that, when people go, oh, like, you didn't score the goals yourself, it's like, well, no, I didn't. And I'm not asking for a badge like I've just, won top boy in the class assembly. But the fact is I ascribe far more to the notion that football, certainly in this country, but globally, realistically, is like a religion. It is. It's in fact the only religion that I, play I'm a full participant of. And I don't think that, it's some deity that is, a god, but there is a culture and a community attached to it. And we have practices and sacred places, etc. And
songs.
Just like, and songs and clothing and also, and food. And just like if it was whatever religion, you have a holy day, well, it might not happen on the same day every year, but when you win a league or win a big trophy, that's like a holy day for you. So, of course, you should be afforded the luxury of people saying, well done, I'm pleased for you, or whatever. You didn't need to be, and I mean, I don't know if they've lost your number, Twayna, but you didn't need to be getting the call up to go, right, you're actually starting in the Champions League final. I'm going to need a hat-trick from you to be able to feel a part of it. We're all a part of it, and we're all enjoying it. Yeah. So there we go. My two penneth. It's not a footballing podcast, guys, for anyone who's listening to this for the first time. Let's start with some troubles. I'll go with this one, Twayna. So my trouble, which has somewhat been remedied, but we'll dig into a little bit more football. But I'm going on holiday next week. Haven Holidays, nice. Thank you very much. Family. And on the weekend, obviously, because of football celebrations, I would need to be, realistically, the game's on Saturday night, and then the celebrations are on a Sunday. So I've had to tell my wife, because we were planning to be on the holiday on Saturday night as well. I said, yeah, we're coming back a day early. Coming back on the Saturday.
What is this the last day of is this the last day of the season, or is this the Champions League? I'm confused which week.
This is for the Champions League final.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And she's like, why don't you just watch it at a Haven holiday park in North? It's like, well, guess what? I'm not doing that. Because the last time we saw us in the same stage as 21 years ago. And I'm not. And obviously the parade will be quite early on the Sunday, so I said no. And she couldn't get her head around it. And I said, trust me, this is more significant than what you is just watching an EastEnders special and I'm rooting for a character. This is life, and I make no apologies for being very much influenced by Arsenal and their successes. So that's it. I don't think she was 2+. What'd you make of that situation?
Well, she, I do know who your wife is. I've met her a few times. She's a lovely woman. I assume that she knew that you were a big fan of Arsenal when you were courting. That was no secret, did. I am sure. And that she also knew that with that, and that they are a team of some with huge stature and some previous success, and they are always going to want success. And so that would happen to sort of clash sometimes with family arrangements. And like you said, a Champions League final does not come round very often, hasn't come round very often for Arsenal. So, yeah, Johnny, I think I don't want to get him. I don't want to sort of take sides with you, but I think you were right to put your foot down and go, we're coming home. Yeah, because I need to be somewhere else. Yeah. 100%
there we go. You've said
you've
said it in such a parliamentary way that I might even show this video to her. Because if you were like, tell her to shut up, she don't know what she's talking about, I'd be like, oh, okay, that was a bit heavy, but I might even play this to her.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, Twayna, you've helped me with that trouble by giving me some affirmation. Should we jump into some viewer trouble? Shall we? Here we go. Yeah. Right, first up. I was with my ex for 2 years. We broke up last February. Is this my one or is this yours?
I think this is my one.
Oh, go on, you start it. I've put
okay, then we'll do it a bit different. Okay, I was with my ex for 2 years. We broke up last February. Since then, I've tried dating, but nobody even comes close to making me feel the way he did. We haven't spoken for more than 8 months, but I follow his life closely on social media, etc. So I know he's not seeing anyone seriously now. I've just got home from another drink with another boring guy who doesn't ask me anything about my life or even try to listen when I told him about the books and culture I'm interested in. I'm wondering whether it was a sign that I should give my ex another chance. Nobody ever seems to understand me properly or make me feel as smart or interesting. I initiated the breakup, but now I can't stop thinking about him. So should I give him a call?
Oh, this is... I actually think when Agony Aunts were invented, this was probably the kind of trouble that it all started off. I broke up with someone and now I'm getting not even buyer's remorse. It's person who's returned their goods with a receipt and they've got remorse. You know, you've made the wrong decision, act in haste, repent at leisure. Yeah. And I think that it's not so much whether this person thinks that they should give them a call. It's more to do with how the other person is moving on after the rug was snatched from underneath their feet. Maybe they are sitting there going, do you know what? I'm actually doing much better right now. And just because you look on their social media, maybe they were healing in the way that they needed to, thinking, oh, that was actually a good relationship, so I'm not going to rush into anything now. And their social media is not blowing up while you're out there having drinks with guys who are not interested in you. And you're thinking, he's got nothing else going on. Maybe I just slip in there. I think that the main thrust of it is, you know, there's nothing stopping you from maybe giving people a call. I do think that you wouldn't be the first person to do it, but don't be surprised if you get shot down, you know, in a ball of flames. And I would fully back that dude if he gets it, just because you've realised that the grass ain't always greener and that grass doesn't give a fuck what books you're reading right now. So, yeah, give it a go. But I kind of am rooting for the guy to say, no, thank you very much. You didn't appreciate me then and you're not getting me now. What do you think, Twayna?
Well, you've broken up with him. You haven't spoken to him for 8 months, but you're snooping about on his social media. He probably knows that you're snooping about on his social media. Unless you unfollow somebody or you've blocked them, he probably knows that you're actually trying to check him out. But the thing is, like Johnny said, he's probably just going to turn around and go, I'm dating someone, I've just not put it online. I've moved on. Just because he's not put it on social media doesn't mean that he's waiting for you to return, like to pop back up in his life. 8 months is a long time. He's probably gone, yeah, maybe I was gutted. Maybe he's seen you in different, like less rose tinted glasses and more just like, actually, what we had is I've moved on. I would never go back out with that person again, actually. So yeah, give him a call, but also be prepared for him to turn around and go, yeah, I'm not interested, mate. And also stop snooping about in my stories. I know you're there looking at me. Just leave me alone, woman. Move on.
I love the fact that it's also you're like, oh, no one listens to me on my dates, and then you follow that up with, I'm wondering whether it's a sign I should give my ex another chance. What do you mean? Maybe you've just realised that you ain't as good as you thought you were. What do you mean it's a sign? There's no signs.
Also, you're on your date. You're being distracted, aren't you? You think whilst you're on a date with somebody, like you're going, oh, all right, then I'll go on a date with this person. But you're also quite clearly thinking about somebody else whilst you're... Maybe don't date then. Do you know what I mean? Don't waste somebody's time with a date. Either try your luck with your ex and then see where that goes. And then, but yeah, maybe it's part of the process of moving on. Give it a go, but also prepared for the grass to turn around and go, get off me, woman. You're a nuisance.
And not just that, it's I think that this person's quite conceited, really. That's the point of it. So much of it, if you look below it, nobody else seems to understand me properly or make me feel as smart or interesting. It's all about how you feel, you know what I mean? And I initiated the breakup, so with someone who makes you feel smart and interesting, and it must be a sign that I should give that. Get a grip on yourselves. Maybe you could actually start thinking about what you're giving to other people. That's why all your dates are going to shit. Do you know what I mean? You're just in your own head. And, you know, just the level of stalking as well with it. I follow his life closely.
Yeah.
Closely on social media. How do you know he's not seeing anyone serious? Maybe he's dating someone who doesn't want to be on social media. You know, and maybe she actually asks questions about how he's doing.
Yeah.
You should maybe look at this as a sign to maybe start developing as a person. That's what I'm saying. Trouble sorted, I think, there, Twayna.
Yeah.
And I've realised the error of my ways. It's because we're going back to front today, but we'll continue with that, and we'll go to one of my troubles here. Here we go. I've been left off the guest list at my partner's son's wedding because her ex has a problem with me being black. I'm a 47-year-old man from Kenya. My partner and I have been together for 3 years and are planning to buy a flat. The son who she had with her ex seems to have been brainwashed by his dad into saying some horribly racist things about me. He's getting married soon. It's distressing and causing problems between us all. It's my partner's ex who's laying down the law over the wedding. I know other guests will wonder where I am. I've suggested to my partner I'll book a week away as an excuse for me not being there, but I worry about other family events in the future. I expect because of their attitude, I won't be invited. My partner wants her son and his wife to visit us, but so far they have avoided the invitation, and I know his father is behind this. What do you reckon, Twayna?
Well, this is a big one, Johnny. I worry about other family events in the future. What is that, like a clan rally? This doesn't sound like a family that I would want to be marrying into. Like, you might really like your partner, but she's coming with some baggage, some really heavy, white, covered in white sheet, fucking baggage. This is possibly, I don't know if you'd split up. Would you split up with somebody's family's like really? I don't know. Yeah, because I think this requires you to have a really serious think with yourself, because at some point you're going to have to sort of maybe be around these people if they let you, if they don't segregate you from everybody else. It's just maybe not. This is maybe not somebody who I'd want to be around. I don't know if I'd want to be in a relationship if they've just got like family members, close family members who are just not just take a disliking to you because they just don't really like you, but like this is quite a big disliking, and like the language that's being used about you and people like you, and it's just maybe call it a day, move it on.
I get where you're coming from. It's difficult, isn't it? Because ultimately you'd like to think that this person, your partner, is an ex of the other partner because he's a racist scumbag. So she's tried to change her life. The main thing is you don't really have to be involved with her ex, obviously. But the son, I mean, you've got every right to be a little bit bullish with your partner, who unfortunately is caught in the middle a little bit. But still, You don't need to be feeling, in any way that you have to compromise your own self-esteem because she hasn't sorted out a racist son. And it will get to a stage where it's like, listen, I think these are the kinds of grounds where you can start saying, and don't do it too flippantly, but it's me or any racist involved in your life, including your son. If they're bigots, then whatever. I'm not about. So you come with me, but we ain't doing it. In terms of, like we've invited him over, like don't have to play down. You know what I mean? You don't have to have fish and chips to make him feel comfortable that day. Maybe bangers and mash. Really black it up that day. Do you know what I mean? I would be standing there, welcoming him at the door in full Black Panther apparel, potentially a shotgun as well, over a beret, if not a string vest. Wear a string vest. Show full blackness as that person walks in and let them know that you won't be hiding. You won't be trying to, try and make you feel warm and welcome and that you don't have to fit. That's bullshit. We're well beyond this. And, I think it's a sad situation, and it clearly seems like this person is trying their best to facilitate, and not put too much pressure on their partner. And I do get they're in a difficult situation. And I wouldn't necessarily say reach for the breaking up situation. But on the same note, I think it's a possibility, as Twayna mentions. I do think you've got to be really clear and say, I'm not having this shit that I'm going to, that I'm just ostracized from your family. You should be ostracizing them because they're firmly in the wrong. It's not a little bit from column A and column B, and it's them that should be coming around. But as I say, if you do meet them, literally super malt is the only drink you should be drinking. What we're talking
Guinness
about.
Punch.
Guinness Punch. Exactly. Get some ackee and saltfish or Kenya, get some jollof out there. Whatever.
Also, maybe dress like a Maasai tribesman and start jumping about. Or like being like a long distance marathon runner. Just run a marathon in the living room like in 2 hours. Come on,
and just say, sorry, this is just a tradition because it's Tuesday. This is what I do every week. Make them feel really uncomfortable. Listen, but I don't mind that. I'm being a bit playful, but not. Don't try and make yourself more palatable to these bigots. You stand proud. And if your partner's not with you, then maybe she has to become an ex-partner.
Also, get her a book. Get her a reading list. Like Black Lives Matter reading list, maybe White Fragility. Just read some books, do the work.
The problem is, I think my take is that the partner does get it. I think she does. I think she needs to put her foot down. I think sometimes you have to come out and bat for your partner, though, don't you? 100%. I wouldn't be going to this wedding. I wouldn't be going to his wedding without my partner. 100%. 100%. So I think you're right on that.
Because wedding's a massive thing, though, isn't it? So it's going to be even just come round for a cup of tea. It's just you have to make a statement that actually this is a line that I'm not going to cross.
And how they handle that is, like you say, a weather vane for how they move forward in the future. I'm just trying to be the victim in this, or the person with my sympathies, is the Kenyan man. Not it's a little bit her, because she's obviously in a rock and a hard place. But like you say, the main thing is that this person who sent it in, just don't lose your dignity. It's worth way more than any partner that you have. That's for sure. Okay, sorted. Knock that out the park. And do you know what? If you just want to hang out with a few brothers and sisters, give us a call. Let us know how you're getting on. You know what I mean? We'll see you at Carnival this year. What's up? You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Right, on to the next one. Here we go.
I've been with my wife for 7 years, married for 4, and I'm confused about whether we should stay together. We used to have great sex, go out a lot and snog. I still feel happy when I see her, but the excitement and lust has gone. We're still affectionate, but bicker a lot, and I don't have the same impulse to jump her bones. Though I have never had an affair, I do find myself thinking about it. Does this mean I've fallen out of love with her? I feel guilty even writing this, but I'm still young and don't want us both to waste our lives with the wrong person.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I do think that this is a familiar story. If I'm honest, I think a lot of people end up getting into this situation, and I don't know. I think in life we tell ourselves a few fairy tales, don't we? There are some that think that you're going to have a Disney marriage, kiss, and fall in love at the first, and it's a load of nonsense. And there's other people that look at marriage like it's something you just walk into and you're just happy for the rest of your life. That's a nonsense. It doesn't work like that. Most of it is about compromise and work, and you feel like, oh yeah, don't get me wrong. There are some aspects that obviously have to feel natural, and it's important to feel relaxed with someone and that you can trust them. But the idea that they're not going to do your nutting for large chunks of your life is naive. They do, and you just have to know that what you're building together and what you're working towards is worth the annoyance in the short term. In terms of like losing a little, falling out of lust with them, I also think to a certain extent that is to be expected because it's just the same person over and over again. Do you know what I mean? And even if you have like your favorite pair of trainers, after a while of wearing them, at some point you're going to look at some other trainers and think, they look even better than my trainers. That's natural. That's human nature. But it doesn't mean that you should go and take those trainers, especially without paying for them, especially if they're someone else's trainers. Yeah. But I've strangled that analogy, so
yeah,
but I think
I've got the murdered it, Johnny.
I think I've got the point out that I think people can kind of get carried away with it unless they've done something to betray you. Then keep going, and then if it gets to the stage where you really, really, have no love for them anymore, then that might be something you have to address differently, and you choose to separate. But I don't necessarily think that's what you're at now. It sounds like more you've lost a little bit of that initial sparkle, which is inevitable.
Just hit a bit of a slump. I think it's just like Johnny. It's like the normal run-of-the-mill relationship slump. It happens, and you can pick it up again. Have you heard about going out on a date? Have you heard about Nando's? So Johnny's even just like, Johnny's excited. That's all it takes. Some peri-peri chicken and some saka sauce in it, something like that. Yeah, it's not. I don't think you said you still get excited. You're still affectionate, but maybe you're gonna have to just work on it. Like if you think, like Johnny said, if you're gonna leave it to like, just go, oh, we're not as excited. It's not what it used to be. I'm not going to make the effort because it's not what it used to be. It's like, actually, you're going to have to make a bit of an effort. You're going to have to like relight the fire. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that's all it takes. You married somebody, not saying that, oh, you're going to be with, you married somebody because you like them, you love them, and you want to build something. So you have to bloody build the thing. You've only just built a wall. You need to build some more walls and put a roof on and then put some windows in. Whoa, you talk about an analogy.
I was going to say, I'm out here strangling analogies, and this chartered surveyor out here telling us how to build houses.
I just built a house.
A house is not a home. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you might know, Twayna. Get yourself down Nando's, and who knows, you could be snogging by the end of the evening. Nando's saving marriages since the early 2000s. This is not a partnered podcast, but it could be.
If it could be,
yeah. I would say the other part of this, again, going back to that, grass isn't always greener. You're in a marriage, and yeah, you might look at other people and think, "Oh, I would have an affair with them," but if you
wouldn't have an affair with you, though.
Almost definitely they wouldn't anyway. And secondly, even if you got off with someone else and got married with them, I guarantee when you've been with them for 7 years, married for 4, you might not be snogging anymore because it's a hallmark of marriage rather than this person. And that's why I don't think this person should be too short-sighted on that front, thinking, oh, no, it's all gone. Let me go and chase something else, because you'll end up here again. And it's more about how you find your own happiness, find your own... and don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that every marriage is worth saving in this situation. But if all it is that you're not having as much sex or not snogging as much, and that's what you're willing to check it in for, then you've got a problem with marriage rather than this person, I would say. Right, on to the next one. Having a hairy back and shoulders is making me feel so self-conscious that now I avoid meeting women. I feel more like a gorilla than a man. Is there any medication I could take to get rid of it? I'm a 35-year-old man and started growing back hair in my late 20s. As I have fair skin and black hair, it's really noticeable, but it's impossible to shave off myself. Chest hair is one thing, but people always joke about hairy backs, making it clear they're seen as unattractive. And good-looking men invariably have hairless chests and backs. After being teased mercilessly by some mates, I no longer want to take my shirt off. I've stopped going swimming or to the gym. As for dating, I feel too shy to get undressed in front of a woman in case she is repulsed. So I've given up on that too. Can the doctor help me? It's spoiling my life. Do you reckon, Twayna?
My advice is get someone to take some pictures of you with topless. Get those pictures on OnlyFans. Get some money together, and then go off and take yourself and get it lasered off. Hair removal. If you want it all removed, go and get hair removal. It's a bit costly. You have to go back a few times. It's going to be a bit painful. But yeah, just turn it into something that there's people like all sorts out there, I hear, on the internet. And so monetize this. Maybe that'll build up your confidence a bit. And if you want to get rid of it at the end of the day, that's how you're going to do it. Laser it off.
Exactly. I agree with you, to be fair. I'm sure there's women out there with giant boobs thinking, oh, they're a bit annoying. Get on OnlyFans. Yep. Turn it into a money, and then you don't want to get rid of them. So, yeah, hairy back, big boobs, whatever. Monetize that. Yeah. And they say capitalism is killing us. No, no. Listen, let's be clear. There are some, and it sounds like this person's hetero, there are some women that love a hairy back. Like, that's their thing. They love hairy men, really go for that kind of thing. I've met some of them. I haven't got a hairy back. I could never satisfy those women. I'll give you the numbers. But no, it's not as unattractive as what you think it is. It's just that you're a more unique case. You're a what they call a refined palate. And
a diamond in the rough.
In the roughage of your back hair. Yes, there's a diamond in there. You've lost it. I thought that's where it went. No, I'm just saying that because this is a little bit like, it's a bit of a fun one because it's like you got a hairy back, mate. It's not the end of the world. But clearly, this person, to them, they're genuinely a bit rocks by it, spoiling your life. Like, my mate's got a massively hairy chest, and we always joke with him about when he's got his top off, we're like, take your jumper off, mate. So there's jokes like that, and it's people like me that are making your life harder. But don't honestly feel too desolate. You're definitely going to find someone who loves you for being you. Yeah. If it's at the point where you genuinely don't like it, rather than you want to avoid being teased or feeling bad, then as Twayna said, there are potential avenues to go down if you're really that bothered by it. Because I'm not going to
turn it into an income stream, innit?
This is it. But on the same note, if it's just you kind of prefer not to be teased about and you want to meet someone, then rest assured that there is definitely going to be people out there that will value what you have to offer, including the hirsute male. You should feel confident and go out there and find them. Right, that one's sorted. Right, two more.
My best friend is getting married, and it brings me genuine joy to see her happy. But I know it's her wedding, her body, and her decision, but I'm struggling with her choice of dress, which might be the most hideous thing I've ever seen. While our friends are doing the right thing and saying, oh, that's nice, the truth is it's tasteless and not at all reflective of how beautiful she is. I haven't said anything outright, but on a few occasions I've tried to gently float different silhouettes or brands, and I've unfortunately been shut down. I'm not sure how to suggest alternatives without revealing my reservations and somehow undermining her vision. The good news is that she hasn't actually bought it yet, and the wedding is still some time off. Though that only heightens the sense that I'm watching a comet hurtle towards the Earth and that I might be the only person able to stop it. Do I just accept that it's none of my business, or shall I assemble a Cobra meeting?
If by Cobra meeting you mean lining up bottles of Cobra, getting her pissed, and then telling her, listen, that is a minging dress, love, that's one way of doing it. Also, you're lucky you're in an era of AI, and you could get that AI to present what she's going to look like in the dress and say, have a laugh, point to it and go, this, and this, all over the gaff. And I want more for it from you. The reality is that the difficult side of it is it's not your wedding day. And it's this person's wedding day. And guess what? If they want to wear a pink tiara and a boob tube to their wedding, and that's what makes them feel pretty or beautiful, guess what you need to do? Get your best Daniel Day-Lewis, Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington. Should probably name some female actors. Halle Berry,
Jodie
Meryl
Foster.
Streep, Jodie Foster, all of the above quality actors. Get your best acting face on and say, wow, $1 million, love, $1 million. Because that's what friends do. They support each other. And this is not a, you're watching your friend pick up the crack pipe for the first time. It's not like, no, I've got to intervene. This is a subjective thing where it's about them and about them feeling good, whatever it looks like. So it's not about you. I would say that you could present a couple of solutions and do it quickly, but do not commit to being like your dress is minging. It would be a more selfish thing than anything else. And you also have to accept the reality that you might be the only one who thinks that it's as bad as you think it is. If that's the case, then what the fuck has it got to do with you? Button it and smile. That's what I would say. Would you reckon, Twayna?
I mean, the friends are going, oh, that's nice, because they actually might believe it's nice. So, but like Johnny said, it's not your business. It's not your wedding. Just support your friend. It's not for you to go, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? Round up the all-girl crew and, like, stage an intervention? Like, what on earth are you thinking? You wearing that dress? No, listen, it's your friend's day. Just support her in any way. It's, like, really stressful for her to, work out what she wants to wear, how she wants to look on a really important day. You can't just be there just going, yeah, I just think she looks like shit. She's just going to make, she says right at the beginning, it brings her genuine joy to see her happy. You would not make her happy if you turn around and just then criticize. Then you also say, I know it's her wedding, her body and her decision. You're like, what kind of friend are you? Like, you're 1 minute you're happy to see your friends happy. You talk about how it's her day and her body and her decision, but you're like, yeah, I want to make her unhappy. I want to criticize her body and her decision about what she wears. You're like, you, mate, if she knew who you were, she would uninvite you because you don't actually sound like the friend that you think you are. You're not actually a pal. Get rid. You're a biatch.
Yeah, I mean, that was heavy in the end. I do think she should be allowed to go to the wedding, but I agree with the sentiment in the sense that, look, there's plenty of stuff that I, have been to people's wedding or been out with people. They're wearing stuff you don't like. Who gives? It's up to them. I know people tell me about stuff that I wear that looks all over the gaff. Whatever, my mates, we don't hold back. But if so, in a different, I dare say, if my wife was dressed up and people were saying you look terrible, it's not going to go down well. So just keep it to yourself. You are not the doyenne of fashion, and she's not courting your opinion. So keep it to yourself, smile, and keep it moving. All right, here we go. Last one. I'm worried that my partner's cold sore is a sign he's been cheating. He denies it, but I'm not sure if I believe him. How else could he have got it? I'm 37 and he's 40. We've been together for 5 years. A few days ago, a sore appeared on his lip. He says he doesn't know what it is or how it got there. He thinks it's because he bites his lip, but it looks like a sore to me. I am now imagining he's been kissing another woman, or worse, having oral sex. It bothered me so much I asked him straight, have you cheated? He got really upset and said it's not his fault. He has a skin issue, but I can't stop thinking he's been unfaithful. Now I'm wondering if I should make him get an STI check, and if I need one myself too. Am I overreacting? Would you reckon, Twayna?
I don't know, Johnny. Are they overreacting? I think they are overreacting. A cold sore it's the herpes virus, that much I know. And it lies dormant in your body, and then sometimes when you're cold and tired and run down, it reappears. And he might not have had it in the whole time you've been together for 5 years, but you're stressing him out, and he'll probably break out in sores all over his body now because you're accusing him of cheating. I think you're going to have to believe the man. Is he usually nice? Does he cheat? Is he just, you know what I mean? Who is the man that you've been in a relationship for 5 years? Ask yourself, would he cheat?
100%. 100%. Like, first of all, you nailed it on the head. It can remain dormant in your body. He could have picked this up when he was 21. And then guess what? You've got your husband, or your partner, who is stressed out, maybe got other things going on, so much so, and run down that he's getting a cold sore. And then you're out there going, you've been having it off with other people, haven't you? You know what I mean?
You've been having oral sex with somebody. It's like, what? I just kissed them. There was no oral sex. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he might bait himself up. But even, literally, he's now got his relationship on the brink because he's having a cold sore flare up. Get your act together. Sort your life out. What the fuck do you think this is? Do you think that cold sores are like that, burglar paint that people put on properties to stop people breaking in? And they just spring up. Just start going down on some lady, and then a week later he's got a cold sore. That's not how this shit works. What is wrong with you? Should you be in an adult relationship if that's what you think's going on? He's got a cold sore, and now his partner's having a go at him. I feel bad for him. Maybe he needs to get rid of you because you're such a nutcase. Overreacting? Yeah, I would say so. Someone's got a cold sore, which they could have got at any point in life that they led before meeting you, and now it's had a flare-up. Just button it, get on with it. The one thing I would say is don't kiss him, and don't let him have oral sex with you while you're at it. But apart from that, keep your mouth buttoned and maybe be a little bit more conciliatory with your partner before he realises that he's made a mistake and leaves you.
Or maybe he takes it upon himself thinking, oh, maybe now is the time to cheat because she thinks I've cheated. So maybe now is the time. And maybe he'll go and find somebody who's already got a cold sore. And then, do you know what I mean? You've now opened a can of worms. Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, to be honest, he might be cheating anyway, but it's not because of the cold sore. You might get the STI check, and he's got chlamydia bundle in there for you as well.
He's got a bit of I don't know, syphilis. You're like, oh
yeah, picked that up when I was 21 as well.
Yeah.
But no, I think we've sorted that one, haven't we, Twayna?
We have, Johnny.
Perfect. And that is the end of episode 30. Now, guys, we are now taking a well-earned break from this podcast. And in the down period, there are 30 episodes, as aforementioned, to go back and listen to if you haven't already. If you have enjoyed this series, do let us know. Reach out to us. Let us know what you've made of it. And for goodness sake, do tell other people about it as well. Get the word out, as that would help the pod either way. Thank you, everyone who has been listening. And we do have a little mailbox if you did have any good problems in there. But in the meantime, as I say, we are taking a little break. And thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you on the other side. Anything else to add there, Twayna?
No. Well, the email address, if anyone fancies sending us an email, would be a troublesharedpod@gmail.com.
There you go. I mean, good luck she's checking it. She can't even remember it. To be fair, forgot her login details.
As email work. What's that? Is it a pigeon?
Love it. Yeah. Okay, guys, all that's left for me to do is remind everyone that a trouble shared is a trouble halved. Bye-bye.